What's up, junkies? Welcome back in, and yes, that is some somber music compared to what we normally bring in on the show. But this is a sad episode as we open up with the rest in peace to our best friend, the supernova, the AAF, burn bright, die young.
Hardly knew thee.
Yeah. I mean, so the smoke is settled. I mean, how are we feeling? Because it was like one day they said, we're not going to make it past this season. And the next day they're like, yeah, we're not going to make it past tomorrow. So,
you know, I was so excited to start the AAF season. I was juiced. We were all in the first 4 weeks, and then I lost interest. And I would have it on in the background, but it didn't keep me captivated. Did not keep me captivated. But, you know, a lot of these guys are getting shots on NFL teams. I think like 40 guys. Even our boy Luis Perez, he signed with an NFL team. So, you know, I'm sure the players are thrilled.
Scott's going deep. What about Johnny Football? Is he going to get signed with an NFL team?
Oh, no. He
or John Manziel.
John Manziel, yeah. He did not look good.
Yeah, I mean, the league is like bipolar. It was like huge first week. They're like, things are great. We're going to the stratosphere. And then literally 10 days later, they're like, we're bankrupt. We need an infusion of $250 million tomorrow to meet payroll.
Oh,
like,
my God.
What? So then this Dundone cat comes in and is like, yeah, I'll give you the money. And then 4 weeks later, he's like, nope, shutting it down. Game over.
Do you see? Did you see the balance sheet of what they have outstanding? They have $500,000 in cash, $48 million in liabilities, and like $10 million in assets.
I was gonna say I don't even think $10 million. I think it was a 9 handle.
Yeah,
file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy.
That's gonna be fun in bankruptcy court. I'm telling you.
I want to know what the assets. What are the assets?
Equipment.
Is it equipment?
I know
there's only 8 teams, dude. That stuff, it's like resale.
Equipment's not cheap though, but still, yeah. I mean,
yeah. I guess this is not like a finance podcast where we talk about the scrap heap of football pads and helmets. But I'm just like, I don't know how they have that much property.
I don't know. And then what happens with like the app and the technology and the football and, you know, what happens with all that? Like, because that has to be an asset, but I don't think that Dundon owns it. And it was separate from the LLC of what owns the AAF. And
yeah, that was the asset. And they owe MGM like $9 million for intellectual property, like using the namesake so they can talk about it. Like the whole thing is just a shit show.
Yeah. They owe $5 million to CBS, $1 million to Arizona State.
For what?
I don't know. Rosemary's Catering, a local San Antonio business, they owe $203K to.
Awesome. I'm sure they're thrilled.
Like what? Like I don't know where.
Hopefully,
they're sending the poor guys to fend for themselves for flights home after they tell them, "Oh, we're closing up shop." Like, what a clown show! And then Charlie Ebersol just got a nice check in the past 2 days from the LLC that just filed for bankruptcy. So, you know,
scum.
And now they're being sued too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's gonna be so many lawsuits out of this.
It's gonna be
wild. Like it's gonna be 2021. Yeah. The XFL had just finished its second season, and Bob Stoops got his second championship, and you know, you're gonna still be hearing about bankruptcy in the AAF, and it's just going to be a disaster. But, you know, takes no happiness reporting this or talking about this. But, you know, you could tell from the get-go there was so many flaws and all the nonsense that was being spewed about the league. But it was a couple of good weeks. But I don't know if there's enough interest post-NFL to really have another successful second league. But there's definitely a market for it because you have all these guys getting a second chance that now get a shot at, you know, the legit, you know, NFL.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway for me was, well, 2 takeaways. The first one is I think we know the answer to whether or not Scott is going to get a response to his multiple emails sent to the AAF. A resounding no. The second thing is exactly what Scott alluded to. I don't know that there's a business case in terms of like actual fan engagement and interest in a second league outside of the NFL. But what the AAF showed is there is a definite developmental case for play outside of the NFL and outside of primetime college football, kind of an in-between where players are getting a chance to showcase talent that maybe they missed coming out of school, didn't go to a big school, 1,000 different reasons why that could be, that developmental league to get them another chance in the NFL.
Yeah, I'll definitely be tuning into the XFL next year. There's a team in New York. It's close by. I'll definitely go. I'll definitely check it out. But it's tough to get really juiced unless they really need to pump fantasy and they really need to pump gambling. And that's where the AAF failed. There was no fantasy. There was no best ball. There was nothing. And you couldn't do any research because there was no reporters following the teams telling you inactives, any news from the teams, any meaningful news from any of the coaches. So it was tough to bet. You couldn't make a market on this stuff. Spreads weren't released till super late. There wasn't any scouting on what's going on. So that's, if you're into NFL for the fantasy, you just couldn't get in the AAF.
Yeah, you're not doing it.
I guarantee the XFL is working on it. They actually have leadership. They have real money backing them. So remains to be seen, but it's tough because they're going to go up against the NCAA tournament for 3 weeks, and I don't know. Are you going to get enough eyeballs in the XFL over the NCAA tournament? Probably not.
No. Exactly. What's to the average American? What's the primary difference between AAF outside of the sport and March Madness? They probably have something riding on their brackets.
Yeah.
So what are they going to watch? They're going to watch where they got a little skin in the game. So all this stuff that Goodell said about fan engagement and blah, 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 it's all horse shit. Because it's the same game. Yes, it's lower quality, but you can't bet on it, which means people aren't going to watch.
It's true.
Yep.
I love looking at this timeline of the AAF too. Founded, so the ideas were starting to process in 2016, March 20th, 2018. So a little over a year, and it was announced. First team, the Orlando Apollos, announced on April 7th, 2018. Inaugural season, everything's looking great, and then just
the champs are here.
They are, yeah.
Spurrier's,
that's what we do.
Spurrier's interview was fantastic. He's like, "Well, we go get out there and coach a ball game." He's just amazing. I hope they do. I hope he gets a gig.
I think their quarterback got an NFL gig. I mean, if
Gilbert, yeah, I think he did too.
He looked
I don't
good.
know where. Well, he was on. I think I told you guys this before. He started Week 17 for the Panthers, so he was on their roster. Mm-hmm. And then I would assume we'll wind up on another roster at some point this year.
So here's a kicker. I'm reading this. League employees were notified via an April 2nd letter from the AAF board, which should not give a reason for ending the season, that their jobs were terminated April 3rd with no severance.
Yeah.
Oof.
Just boom. And then on April 4th, they announced through their Twitter account that it's all over.
Good night, everybody.
We'll see you next week.
Woof.
It's just not enough people there. Just there. Apparently, CBS CBS didn't pay them to air the games. Is disaster. So, yeah,
a lot of money.
We saw some flaws from the get-go, and just what I heard on Andrew Brandt's podcast, it was red flags from the start. But interesting. Sadsies to see it go. But tonight, while we're airing this, or while we're recording this, NFL schedule got released. It was being leaked all day, and I'm just juiced. Oh, man. Here we go. Now it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
NFL owns every month of the year. They have something.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
It's genius.
Oh, man.
That's Scott, you have initial thoughts?
Oh,
Your Patriots.
I do like the Patriots schedule. I played out there in the last 2 games at home. Not the sexiest first game of the year with the Steelers, but I think the schedule sets up nice for them. They have, we draw the NFC East, which is just delightful. We're going to have the Skins. We're going to have the Giants, and then
Kirk Cousins 3.0. You had Kirk Cousins, and then you had Alex Smith, and now you have Case Keenum. I mean, you just it's the same person, but you're just
the names are
going the wrong way.
changing. Case Keenum sucks, dude.
Yes.
Week 8 we have Browns, which will be an interesting spot, and not much else. The schedule. I mean, I saw some people tweeting today we have one of the easiest schedules, and probably right. What else?
Because they play in the AFC East. It's very simple.
Sure.
Name a worse division.
The NFC East is worse.
Disagree.
That's okay.
I think the Cowboys are pretty good, and I think the Eagles will be much better with Carson Wentz back full strength.
Don't sleep on my Buffalo Bills. And this year, the Jets schedule sets up fantastically for them. They're a team to watch out for. And here's another one. I really like the Steelers schedule. Now, everyone's going to be down on them this year and anointing the Browns, but the Steelers have a very nice closing schedule, and I think they'll be right in the mix to win that division one more time.
Scott, I got to ask you if you can. Now, I know you are not yourself a Jets fan, but you have family members and friends who are Jets fans. When you saw those uniforms, what were your initial reactions, and how were your friends' reactions to those crummy Division III jerseys?
Micah's uniform. Micah is obsessed with uniforms.
Look good, feel good, play good, boys.
My brother, I sent it to him and my dad, and he's like, those aren't the jerseys, because it was leaked the day of by Ross Tucker and somebody else. They retweeted something, and I sent it to them. And they're like, that's not them. No way. Those don't look good. And sure enough, they're the ones that they're going to be wearing. It's like, Bob, I was like, look at the picture. That's Sam Darnold. Those are the jerseys.
That's actually Sam Darnold. It's not just a tall white dude stand-in.
Yeah,
it's actually him.
Painful. They look horrendous. They're terrible. And how about Adam Gase coming out today? He's got some quotes how he's coming after the Patriots. He thinks he has some swag. So that's cutesies to see out of him.
That's always so funny to me, like these guys. And it's like it's football, so it's a very machismo thing. But I'm like, dude, you just got your shit stuffed in for like 3 years in Miami. And now you think you're going to stay in the same division and actually like do anything with probably a worse roster? Like, come on, man. I don't. What are you thinking?
Well, I think that's what makes it worse.
Yeah, like try and win some games first and then talk noise.
Yeah.
Because I like a little banter, but you literally have no legs to stand on.
Yeah, like it's not like he's an assistant coach that is just got his first big job. He's coming in, he's trying to ruffle some feathers early on. Like, no, like Jared was saying, this guy's been getting curb stomped repeatedly every year. Well, except for when the Pats come to Miami, but whatever. He doesn't have that anymore. He doesn't have the kryptonite. So he's going to go 0-2. Doesn't matter. And it's just, it's so funny. You stay in the division and you know you're just going to get your stuff kicked in. It's unbelievable.
I am quite excited to see Flores down in Miami. I do think they'll be much improved.
Mm-hmm. Plus, my man's got crazy eyes. I can't. That interview of him is still the funniest thing. I wish I had the video right now, but his eyeballs, I thought they were going to just fall out of their sockets. He was just dry staring.
I'm telling you, their schedule sets up really nice for them. They're going to be a team to play with. And I'm telling you, the Bills' schedule, this team's ready to rock and roll this year. They have Cincinnati at home. They have Arizona, I think. No, not Arizona. But they have Denver at home. Denver's schedule. Denver is a 3-win team this year, potentially. Their schedule is brutal.
Brutal schedule, brutal team, no quarterback.
No quarterback. But this could be their master plan, tanking for Tua. it's going to be a real tank fest at the end
I
of the
don't
year.
think Tua is going to be any good in the NFL, but that's me.
Uh-oh.
I'm
What?
not making an assessment there. I'm just saying. Who's the Oregon guy too? Herbert?
Yeah, Herbert I like a lot. That dude has a rifle attached to his right arm.
He's coming
he's like
out.
a mini.
And he's a big dude.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect for the Broncos.
Honestly reminds me of Big Dick Nick. And just facially looks like it's like Jay Cutler and Nick Foles. Like that's the trinity he's joining of just facially looking like nothing's happening. He's just constantly
There's no
dead-faced.
there.
Yeah. He could throw 7
Yeah.
picks. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Go out here. I would keep throwing the football. It's fine.
Have a heater.
Yeah.
Keep throwing them.
So I'll ask, we are pigskin junkies, and we do try and keep towards the, looking at the Vegas book, I will say. When it comes to Le'Veon Bell, how are you guys going to approach that? Are you going to take a futures on a rush total that they come out with him, or what would the line be that you'd want to? Where do you draw the line on that? I guess going into
We
it.
have to see after the draft and see what the Jets do. If they move back and they start taking some offensive linemen and shore up that position, which they need, it could impact what I think. But I think the offense is going to hum. I think with Gase, they're gonna move the ball. I think they're going to be a good team, and they have the schedule to do it. So I'd be interested to see what the number is. I haven't thought about what the number would be, but I think he's going to be ready to prove some people wrong this year.
Yeah, I would agree with Scott. I mean, I think with the change in coach, with Todd Bowles in there, you had guys like Isaiah Crowell, Bilal Powell running for like 700, 800, 900 yards in a season. So I think if he was still the coach, I'd be much more bullish on him. But question with Gase rushing wise, especially, is how often are they going to be doing that? So yeah, I'll be interested to see what the number is. Obviously, injury is a major concern with their lack of offensive line talent, but I like Sam Darnold a lot, and the Jets certainly improved last year.
Yeah.
You and Scotty's boy, the Herd, with Colin Cowherd. Big Darnold boy. Big
Darnold. He's also
Yeah.
a huge Rosen guy, and he's been trying to tout him for the past few weeks. So where does Josh Rosen land? Is
He should stay in Arizona.
Cardinals? Yeah?
He should. I think he's really good.
I think
he
so,
had
too.
0 time last year. 0. I wish the Vikings would trade for him. They won't.
They won't.
You know who should trade for him is Jacksonville.
No, they just
Hey.
get
Actually, I take that back. They just signed Big Dick Nick.
There we go.
Yeah.
Stop disrespect.
I can't forget. I can't remember all the free agency happened like last week. It's already out of my brain.
the Giants should trade for him.
Giants, somebody in the NFC East. Giants, Washington, Dallas. I guess just paid. Dallas going to pay Dak. Seattle just paid Russell.
There we go.
God.
Our boy.
Yeah,
Did you see that video?
I texted. Yeah, I did. That was weird.
Yeah.
He's a weird dude. I was gonna come
couldn't
out and
watch
say
it.
it. I love him. He's
like
a
he
weird
just got
dude.
done laying the lumber, and he's like, yeah, he looked like he just got done laying the lumber, and he's like, I got
100%.
paid.
Yeah. Let me take
We
this
just had
video real
something.
quick.
Yeah,
I'm winning at everything.
yeah.
Like, that was what that video was.
Yeah. Their team's going to take a step back as a result, but at least he got paid. Hey, we're a Russell Wilson podcast. I'm not going to.
Such a Tom Brady comment. Jeez.
Tom Brady
Yeah,
didn't take
Scott.
discounts for 40 years.
Truth hurts. Truth hurts.
It's true.
No, there's 100%
He
facts
does,
to that.
and they win.
Yep.
Yeah, he takes discounts and they win. Other people don't, and they don't.
So
Aaron Rodgers, Exhibit A.
yeah. So who are the Vikings taking first round?
Oh, jeez. Hopefully an offensive lineman.
I have to say, I think everyone's got him taking an offensive lineman. The names vary, but their offensive line is so bad and depleted. And it sucks because the defense is so good and has been and likely will continue to be. And you have muckety-muck Kirk Cousins Kirk Cousins and then a terrible offensive line, and it's just no rhythm. He's a rhythm thrower. He can't get any rhythm. It's embarrassing. Plus, he can't play in primetime games.
I was going to say, not so primetime Kirk, but did you see it was a mortal lock when he showed up and he did the pregame speech at U.S. Bank to Michigan State. I said they could play St. Mary's School of Deaf and Blind, and I'd bet on them because there's no way. The primetime game at U.S. Bank and Kirk Cousins is involved. All bets are off.
L.
Yeah, and they did.
L. I know.
And they did. Unbelievable. I didn't
even think about that. The speech was terrible. I saw a clip of it. I'm like, ugh. This is awful.
Wrapping in with the Jets comments earlier, Anthony Barr coming back, I think, was huge. I got a little choked up today. They were talking to Harrison Smith, and Harrison Smith started getting emotional, talking about the Tom Brady discount, saying not a lot of guys do that, and give up a couple mil to come back and play. So that was pretty cool. And like you said, Jared, this defense. Something about wearing number 22 and being a safety for the Vikings, and also just being a Hall of Fame white guy. So it's whatever.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, there's no denying it. I can't deny.
I'm just really excited for Scott's look into the September 22nd game at home against Oakland, because I want to hear post-draft how we're feeling about Oakland with everything they have on the table this year in the draft.
I'll tell you, Oakland is a team that I want to like. I want to like this team because I think a lot of guys have been dumping on them, but their schedule is terrible. Their schedule is brutal. And I'll tell you, the surefire lock week 5 is that team travels to London to play the Bears. Oh. John Gruden doesn't like flying, and John Gruden is not prepared to go to London. I'll tell you, that's not going to change this year. It was one of our favorite games last year when they played Seattle. Week 5, as soon as you can get the spread, Bears against the Raiders. But I think
Bears.
Oakland's going to be a team that they start off slow, a lot of hype. Everyone gets down on them. They get big point spreads, and they'll be a team to recover at the end of the year. They have firepower.
I think I'm switching my NFL allegiances to them when they move to Vegas next year.
We have to go out there.
I'm going to be a Las Vegas Raiders fan.
Have to.
Scott, in 2020, is that the right year? Yeah. Pats at LV Raiders will go.
Now we're talking. I just hope it's a 1 o'clock kickoff. Or no, it won't. It'll be 4:30.
I was gonna say it can't be. It's got to be 4:30.
Yeah.
Or Sunday night, or Monday night.
Now we're talking.
Monday.
I wonder what the Monday night games are, if they're any good, because they were putrid last year.
Yeah, I know the Patriots have a bunch of prime timers.
Well, of course.
Yeah, that's what happens when you win every year.
There it is.
There it is. Okay. I don't see it.
Cleveland Jets week 2. That's good. Puke. Chicago, Washington.
That should be all right. So
Pats Jets week 7, which is good. San Francisco Seattle week 10. Not bad.
Yeah. Week 11, Chiefs Chargers in Mexico.
Yeah.
We'll see if it actually happens this year.
Indy.
Like the Vikings at Seahawks, week 13 at night.
Packers at Vikings week 16. We know who we're betting on that week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, baby.
The bad man.
I'm sorry. I had it over there.
Yeah, unless the defense breaks a clavicle, we got a chance.
Ooh, Micah, we should go to that one. That's what we should do.
I mean,
Cleveland, I'll tell you, Cleveland got a lot of primetime love. They got the Niners week 5 on Monday night.
Well, they got all the hype.
I'm going to hammer their under. Their season win total is going to get pounded to the under by me. They are improving, yes.
Ooh.
But Someone's gonna hang like a 9, and I'm gonna just crush the under. Back up the truck. Back it up. When we're out there for Super Contest weekend, back it up.
Yeah.
Now, just once again, a reminder: the schedules are coming out literally as we are recording this, so we're trying to. You're getting the live reactions from myself, Jared, and Scott, and then they'll probably have what they leave the last couple of weeks of primetime open for flex games, correct?
I think that
Sunday night.
they schedule one initially, but they can get flexed versus a myriad of games.
So for like the Tennessee versus.
So there's still hope for your
game.
Vikings in Week 16.
Yeah, hopefully.
No, that was Monday night.
It was Monday.
Monday night is
Monday night's locked in. Yeah.
Okay.
locked
Vikings
in.
play the Redskins on Thursday night. I think I'd rather throw myself off of a cliff.
That sounds like a Case Keenum cover if I've ever heard one.
Oh. What a barf fest that's going to be.
Oh God, terrible.
Case
Terrible.
Keenum and primetime Kirk Cousins
I don't know
This-
what teams are going to
on
be
Thursday.
worse to watch this year, the Bengals or the Redskins. But I'll tell you, they're jockeying for position there, or the Broncos. Broncos are up there.
This Vikings flask I hold in my hand right now will be filled to the brim and will be empty by the end of the game because it's the only way I will get through that one. That and crap talking Kirk Kramer.
How much, what week does our guy Jeff Driscoll get in as a starter this year, Scott, for the Cincinnati Bungles?
They're drafting quarterbacks. I think your boy Jeff Driscoll is going to be the third stringer.
Ooh, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I've seen some Drew Lock out there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A couple different places. See, but I think if they draft a quarterback, I think they'll cut Dalton.
You think they'll cut Dalton?
Yeah, because there's no guaranteed money left on his contract, and they're paying him some fat number. And if you're going to draft the quarterback, then I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah.
New
And where
coach.
does he go?
I don't know.
Look.
I don't know if he goes anywhere.
He'd go. Someone's going to pick him up.
Someone-
Yeah, back up.
Dude, Case Keenum's still a starter in this league. I would take Andy Dalton every day and twice on Sunday over Case Keenum.
Oh, what if you went to Washington? You had the Red Rifle, Case Keenum, and Colt McCoy in one QB room.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
can you talk about legacy?
That is-
Hey, now Scott, I know you hate college football, but now we got a Cougar, we got a Longhorn, and we got a
Case?
Case went to
Who?
Houston, Colt went to
Dalton went to
Texas,
TCU.
and Dalton went to TCU. He's a Horned Frog.
Horned Frog.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Texas, baby. It's always bigger.
Well, you know
than
what
Texas.
happened?
Scott's
It's
like, what's college football?
Yeah. When do those schedules get released? I can't wait.
They've already been out for a long time.
Yeah, we're sparing you right now because Jared and I could talk spring football and really dive into it, but we'll keep it.
Hold on. Are you telling me you watch spring football?
I do
Yeah.
watch spring football.
They have a game.
Yeah.
Well, I know they have the game.
It's a spring game.
I've seen it on TV channel. Back to Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, dude! You're telling me how good the AAF is, and then you're telling me you can't watch spring football?
Oh God, no.
I mean, yeah, I'm not watching like Rutgers
I'd love to go
spring
to
football
an
game.
Auburn game, but you know.
You might have to come down. We got tickets.
Be lit.
Yeah, Batman comes out at the Auburn games.
It's true.
The
For those
alter
of you who
ego.
don't know, that's heavily intoxicated, Jared.
The
Gets
alter
right
ego
here.
show.
He talks like this.
Yeah.
So
I'm
gonna
responsible
end it-
as a parent. Yeah.
yeah,
Don't do that anymore.
whatever. Okay. Yeah, not when the kids are asleep, and your newly
Not when
married
grandma's got
brother
it for the night.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, you're telling me we're gonna be in Auburn, and your younger brother, your younger sister, his wife, and probably no one else in that equation, but the three of us are gonna go to Sky Bar, and you two aren't gonna join us.
This is great.
It's the greatest place on earth.
You gotta come
doubt
down,
about it.
Scott. You're gonna have to do it.
I got it. Oh,
You got a couple things. You got a couple things to do before then.
So we'll keep that on the radar. We're right at like the 30-minute mark here, so we're gonna round robin it here, real quick. And just I know we've hinted kind of at the draft, but team you're most excited to see in the draft, who they choose to then would affect how you view their season outcome. Who has, I guess, the most potential to really improve as a team in the draft? In your mind?
I mean, I want to see who the New York Football Giants take at number 6.
Yeah, that's
really great, and frankly, in the whole draft, be a great indicator of where they think they are as a team, what they're trying to do, and they have 2 first-round picks, and see if they take a quarterback or if they're going to really believe in Eli for another year, which is wild. I'm excited to see the Giants move and the Miami Dolphins if they take a quarterback in this year's draft or if they really are tanking this year and building for next year and trying to get Tua or the Oregon kid.
Yeah, I think I'm scrolling through it right now. I think probably the most intriguing to me is the first team that reaches for a quarterback. So if that's Washington, if that's Arizona, if that's who else? Kind of obviously the Giants are in that mix. I think Tampa at 5 is very interesting. We already mentioned the Bengals. It never ceases to amaze me. Like, this is not a hot take. I don't think Daniel Jones is any good, and I certainly don't think he's a first-round quarterback. But I think because quarterback is so essential in this league, somebody's going to take him at like 19th overall, and then he's going to get there, and they're going to be like, "Wow, this guy's not any good." Yeah, Micah loves Daniel Jones because he wants to, but he's not good.
I bet Daniel Jones hard. I bet Duke just because of this guy. He's a stud. That doesn't mean you're paying out in the NFL, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, playing against the ACC at 9:30 in the morning is a little different than the NFL. It's just a totally different ballgame.
Well, I mean, you see on a lot of sites, you do see Daniel Jones going to the Giants, and I think this description right here is funny. It's like, take Jones at 6 and then let the chips fall as they may to get to 17. It's like, no. Draft someone. This defensive line class is so stupid good to where if one of them falls in your lap, there's no way you don't take one. Quinnen Williams is going projected 4th overall. That guy is a freak. Ed Oliver, freak. Nick Bosa, freak. Like, these are just defensive line. I hate saying it because it's just football verbal vomit. But games are won and lost, and you see it every year in the playoffs. In the what?
Trenches.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely.
So that's just where
It was that much of a not hyperbolic. What's the word I'm looking for?
hyperbole.
I got
Hyperbole?
baby brain. Sorry, everybody. Like a buzzword or anyways, cliche. There it is.
There it is.
So cliche, we could all say it at the same time, completely unsolicited.
So I think for me, you have to. It's like when the Vikings had, who was it? Courtney Taylor at running back, and Courtney Taylor rushed for like 12,000 yards, or excuse me, 1,200 yards. 12,000, that'd be an unreal season.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah. 1,200 yards with the Vikings, and Adrian Peterson fell to him at the 7th overall pick, I believe. There's no way you're not. I remember our dad looking at us going, there's no way you don't take this guy. He's a freak. We don't need him, but there's no way you pass this up.
Find room for the talent.
Yeah. And I think, to me, I'm doing it the opposite way. I'm picking a stud that I have film on, then drafting a kid that's going to ride my pine for a year. Watch Eli stare confused into a camera, learn nothing, and then go in and get his teeth knocked in the following season, and then you're 3-4 years behind. I'd rather have a guy I know or has a higher chance of booming versus busting. That's my 2 cents. But hey, at the same time, I'm sitting in a chair in a duplex, and I'm not a GM. So clearly some people are better.
I think John Dorsey's doing the same thing, actually.
And I have a podcast.
He's getting lots of love.
Yeah. The one pick I am very excited to see where he goes is Devin White out of LSU, because I think that dude is a game changer athletically. But I think you have to go. I think you got to throw the Raiders in there. But for me, as like teams that I'm excited to see what happens, just because of how many picks they have, and I hinted at it earlier. But I am interested to see what the Cardinals do at 1. Do they take Kyler Murray and
He's
just
done.
show
He's
that?
gone. 100%.
Yeah, and so then you got these two guys, and then what's Cliff gonna do? He can't go recruit these kids by hitting on hot moms anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you gonna do? And that just shows immediately coming in the identity of this team is gonna be on offense, where I think you can keep Josh Rosen, maybe even trade that number 1 overall pick for somebody who really wants Kyler Murray and blow that sucker up like 20 years ago, what the Saints did for Ricky Williams. But hey,
That's right.
who am I?
Dick.
Traded the kitchen sink for that one.
Yeah. Terrible move. I can tell you one team I know that just drafts the best available player and tries to get as much talent on their roster as possible. Up in Foxborough, they've done all right by doing that.
Yep.
Who's the crafty white guy in this draft, Scott?
Oh God, there's a kid. I've been seeing a lot of tweets about him. Late round guy. I forget.
Every time.
I'll tweet it out.
Slot receiver, shifty.
Yeah. There's a lot of talk that the Pats are going to move up and try to get Hawkinson. It would go against everything that the Patriots do. They don't move up in drafts. They move back. But
They did just sign Demaryius Thomas. I did see.
Yeah, that was a big sign.
They signed Demaryius Thomas coming off an Achilles, so we'll see. And they got Austin Seraphin Jenkins, so we're really thrilled. But we have 12 picks this year. We got 5 in the first 100, or 5 in the first 105, so they're going to restock.
But do you have
think
pick
Brock was
number
really
199?
Good question. I don't think so.
And then Jared's question, sorry.
Duke comes back.
No, I think
Or do
he's
you
done.
think he's really done?
I think he's really done. What a year. What a career. First ballot.
Whoa.
Absolutely. You don't think he's first ballot Hall of Famer?
I think he's extremely dominating, no question.
Yeah.
Sad to see it, but
If Terrell
I think
Davis is first ballot,
yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I would agree.
But I think that's going to do it here, right? Unless you guys got any closing comments.
We're good. That's it. We'll be back probably pre-draft. When is the draft? Next week?
Yeah,
20
week or two.
2 weeks?
25th?
Yes, we'll
Next.
probably be back after the draft for some assessment.
Yeah. And
Sus.
we start working on the schedules and start working on next season. Got to go through the draft, and we're ready to rock and roll. OTAs
Grind never
right
stops. Grind never stops.
now. Yeah.
We'll be ready to go.
We'll be
New
ready to
website coming out. It's going to be hot.
New website coming out. We'll have some content. We're really excited
Hashtag
for some.
content.
Yeah, we're really excited to release some stuff.
Maybe some coffee mugs,
Yeah.
T-shirts.
Oh, the balls are starting to roll, and hopefully we can continue the same energy we had last year into this season. We appreciate you guys hanging in there for the little hiatus we had. A lot of info to catch up on, a lot happening in the NFL. AAF, obviously, rest in peace and peace to our young supernova. For myself, Michael Larson, Big Brother Jared Larson, and our boy Scott, we thank you so much for tuning in, and we look forward to this next season. Once again, follow on Twitter at pigskin_junkies and subscribe to the podcast if you would be so kind to leave a comment, even throw in a 5-star or whatever stars you think. But you will be blackmailed, like that one guy who gave us 1 star or 2 stars or whatever it was, and he changed his mind. So We will win you over. We promise. All right, that's going to do it for us.
Matter of time.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.